It's super. I don't understand. This is crazy. It's been like just 15 years. Your face on the hat.
Premeditating which homes they were going to hit up. Only time will tell, however, if a business gets busted reselling knowingly stolen merch, which they may have helped the criminals steal. They could be going away for a long time. But even if they do, as we touched on earlier, the criminal element that is stealing all of this wealth is still going to be out there, which means the opportunity to profit from the sale of all those stolen.
Well, if they're doing business with these individuals and they're not doing proper vetting of the things that they're buying, that means that they're the ones who are really benefiting from these illegals being in the country. Like, these illegals obviously get money out of it, etc., but they're getting peanuts compared to what these pawn shops and these other places are getting. They're the ones, like, they're the Kia boys, right? They steal a Kia for $50. Well, somebody else takes the Kia, robs a bank, and they make 10 grand. That's really the people making the big money. As long as you know the cashier, leave without signing. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that I don't know enough about pawn shop. I thought you had to sign something if you sell something to them that's over a certain amount of value. Is that not true? You do, yeah, because it's like over $1,000, right?
Hope you don't have two left feet.
It depends on the state. You do in Texas.
Greetings, traveler.
Uh-huh. Right. That's what I thought. You have to give ID. Yes. It's over $100.
Items will still be there as well, and the opportunity to make money supplying these criminals with the one thing they need to do their dirty work, that's not going anywhere either.
You get to 99. No, that's a tax form.
So criminals, gang members, thugs, there's a lot of people like that living in New York right now, and they need to arm themselves to get up in the morning and go about doing what they're here to do, which creates an opportunity for people in possession of things that are banned to sell them and make a lot of money because they've got a lot of customers who need those things to go about accosting others, stealing, robbing, home invading, etc. And sadly, this criminal opportunity has attracted people to New York who are just the absolute worst of the worst.
These are some of the worst criminals, suspected Tren de Aragua gang members, allegedly making money selling guns on the streets of the city. But they had no clue they were selling to undercover NYPD officers.
Wow. When Trump said they're not sending their best, I didn't know how right he was. I didn't even understand that. That's incredible.
Police Commissioner.
So in New York, you've got so many criminals that one gang can make money arming other gangs who make money using those things, stealing and exploiting the rest of the city. And apparently this recent gang bust saw 10 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua all busted for selling weapons. And apparently these criminals had quite an arsenal of fully automatic devices, and they were also in the United States without permission. But apparently they were making money supplying New York's growing criminal underworld.
Which is stupid. Like, why would you even have an automatic weapon to begin with? Like, unless you're fighting other gangs, you're never going to need that. You're breaking into houses that nobody's there in the first place. It's just stupid.
With the tools of its trade, and they only came here because this is a sanctuary city with soft on crime laws and a defunded police force. Something that's pretty obvious to see when you look at the statistics around moped crime and how it's exploded here, with snatch and grab robberies in this city going from non-existent to a daily occurrence. But apparently arming an ever-growing population of criminals here locally wasn't enough for these guys, and they were exporting their operations to other states.
Kat says their criminal activity includes other crimes reaching further than the city.
And included Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Texas,
Florida, Colorado. When confronted during
That's
a
a lot.
buy and bust operation, the NYPD says the gang members put up a fight. Still, detectives.
So these guys, apparently, they didn't want to go down without a fight. The police knew coming into this that these were violent criminals. But it gets...
That's crazy. They're actually going to go against the police, too. Jesus. Hey, Texas, were you a supporter? No, bro. Like, absolutely not. Like, I don't support this shit at all.
Even worse, because look at this.
Ridiculous.
One of the guys that they took down has prior arrests for weapon possession.
Wait, so he has prior arrests, but I thought he wasn't supposed to be here.
Now that's incredibly serious. Weapons are no joke here. You're not even
What?
allowed to have them in certain parts of town.
how-
And if you get caught with
what?
an illegal one, that's a felony, which is supposed to come with prison time. Yet this guy somehow still had his freedom. He was living life as a criminal without a care in the world. And what kind of backwards message does that send to people who want to come here and be dangerous? We got signs all over Midtown, where I'm at right now,
Didn't
saying...
they read the sign where it said you're not supposed to have a gun? You're telling me he didn't listen to the sign? What the hell is this?
You can't have weapons, yet when people get caught with them, nothing happens to them. That's
They
why
can't
you've
read?
got
No,
people...
but they have the thing with like the gun, and then there's a circle around it with a line over it that says no. You don't need to read it.
that are here selling them illegally.
You don't need
And that's
to.
why you've got people
See-
that are
see?
using them to commit crime all over town. And apparently also in other parts of the country where they're invading the homes of wealthy...
I think that he was just breaking the law intentionally. I think that he didn't respect the law. I think that's the truth. He didn't care what the
individuals
sign
to
said.
rob them and then sell whatever they stole on the streets of New York.
Tren de Aragua, or TDA, is a violent gang from Venezuela. On social media, police say they display their criminal enterprise and how they're expanding day by day here in the city.
They come here almost exclusively to commit and engage in criminality.
So there you have it. These gangs, these criminals, they didn't get here by accident. No, they came here because this is the perfect place
Well,
to
it would logically make sense, right? Because like there's not a lot of like I would assume that a lot of the like agriculture jobs would be like much further down south. Like New York is fucking cold. There's snow here. So like what job are you gonna do? So you're gonna come into America. You're probably coming through Mexico. Like, I mean, maybe not, right? But in a lot of cases, I would assume through Mexico. And you're coming in here. Like, and you go all the way to New York. Like, bro, you're going there to do something specific. Crime tourism? Yeah, exactly. Canada too? Yeah, but like, it would make sense that more people would be coming from Mexico. But you're right, Canada, of course, is going to have some.
do what they want to do. And based on what our country's learned about some of these gangs, like this Tren de Aragua, everyone should have seen this coming. Because this one group in particular, they are human exploiters. Yeah. It underpins every single crime they're involved in. And asylum seekers in New York City shelter.
I find the most incredible thing to me about this, above everything, is the fact that it's done so brazenly with absolutely no consideration of like, am I gonna get in trouble or not? That's what's so shocking to me about this. It's that it's not that it's happening, of course it's happening, but that people are doing it in plain sight and they don't even care. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, they're just doing it. That's how it is in South America. I don't know about that. People actually defend this? I don't know.
There's reported being approached by gang members demanding that they join their gang and start committing crimes. Saying no would result in someone being branded an outsider. A fate nobody living in a government-funded homeless shelter that bans police from entering wants, because in these places the only morals come from the criminals that have taken them over. And of course these aren't the only criminals that have come here because of what New York City...
You can't expect the migrants to hold each other accountable. It's not their job. Number one, it's the police's job, and number two, it's like, yeah, if they get taken over by, like, I don't really in a lot of places like fault the citizens for like having extremism inside of their country, because the extremists, if you don't cooperate with them, they'll kill you, right? I mean, that's, of course they're gonna do that.
people get away with. We've got this theft ring of criminals from Chile who were here to do business and sell things to corrupt establishments that have a legitimate presence in this city. And we know that terror watch list suspects were apprehended at the U.S. southern border over the last few years and then disappeared into the country. This is incredibly frightening. And all of this crime and lawlessness is enabled by sanctuary city policies that bar the police here from cooperating with ICE. And when you stack on top of that,
Oh my God. How do people put up with this shit? This is shocking.
our lax justice system, this entire place is just a playground for criminals to learn and perfect a trade they should never be engaged in the first place. What do you think about that? Are New York City's rules the reason we've got budding criminal empires sprouting up all over the place here? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Adam 20.
I cannot fucking believe that people put up with this bullshit. How do people put up with this? It's a PvP server, yes. It's shocking. Chile is the only South American country currently within a visa waiver program where technically they allow criminals to enter illegally as tourists. Now an entire country is at risk to lose its benefit because some losers think they can outsmart the police. Well, none of this would have been a problem if the police were able to go after them in the first place. And that's the issue. It's that, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of guys from Chile who probably want to come to the U.S. and there's no problems, right? It's not an issue. I think that's probably the vast majority. But you've got a couple of problem boys doing this, and now everybody's losing their fucking mind. Yeah, crypto scams or migrant burglaries, pick one. I would rather have crypto scams because everybody opts into a crypto scam. Nobody opts into a burglary. Yep. So I know this is like just a totally stupid, irrelevant,